The first time I heard about the concept of law of attraction, well, I was like 15 years old. My father gave me the book The Secret, and then a DVD of The Secret, and I watched it. I don't know, I was like amazed that you could sit and you can like wish for a, what was it in the movie, like a red bike or something, and then it suddenly showed up on your door. I was 15, never had any concept of anything like this ever before. And now I'm 30, 15 years later. And I think I've finally gotten consistent with knowing how to truly actually be able to manifest something into this reality and how it actually works. I've been meditating for at least 10 years and I've tried to manifest and failed so many times. It's crazy, but I've also succeeded a lot. And I can now look back and I can connect the dots and I see why I succeeded sometimes and why other times I didn't succeed, or at least the frustration around it. So that's what I'm going to tell you a little bit about in this video. So I could just say that first, when I started to try to manifest, it all came from, let's say, a young person's mind. It came from the place that why I was interested in the first place, and I was wanting, right? I was in a situation where I was 15. There was a lot that I wanted, but of course, I didn't know myself very well then. I didn't know about life very well. That's the beauty of being young, but still, it's like you can do so much wrong from that place. And of course, you are supposed to do a lot of wrong. Some people, they make it click earlier. But I think the thing I needed to learn first before I would ever start to consistently be able to manifest was that my inner world was total chaos. So I was envious, jealous, craving, all the things that a 15-year-old is. And also older when I was 17, I was always thinking about what everybody else thought of me. I was not aware that much of my inner reality and how much that affected my outer world. I just thought that if I wished something, then it could come true. So the first thing I learned was to meditate, and this started when I was around 18, and I started to meditate. I went to Vipassana meditation, 10-day silent meditation retreats, just meditating to get enlightened, to get there, to get there and finally be able to get the things that I wanted. And that's your first clue here. That was my first clue. The inner world I had was that I wanted something. So when I sat down and I meditated, I was like, okay, now I've been thinking about it. I've been trying to get it. I've been like seeing the thing I want. When does it come? Okay, is it coming? No, it's not coming. It's coming soon, maybe. And I started to project into the future, like maybe it's in blah, blah, blah. In 3 months, I will have that. And then 3 other months, I will have that. And I started to project into the future of when I would finally get that thing. And that's the first biggest mistake of manifesting anything, is that if you do it from a place of want, of course you want it, that's why you do it in the first place. But if you do it in the place of wanting the external thing, that's when you shoot yourself in the foot, because then you're actually telling yourself that you don't have it. You're telling yourself over and over again, what, craving that thing, that you don't have it. And that is actually just creating that wanting, that craving. And I've been doing this on and off for so many years. When I was around 24, I wanted a more exciting life. I moved to Africa, I lived there, but I wanted something bigger, something more crazy. And I started to manifest or visualize that my life was way more exciting and way bigger. And I did it in a kind of a naive way where it was like, I didn't know specifically what I wanted, but it was something about something big and great. My life, for long story short, changed rapidly from the age of 24 to, let's say, 27. I became a music manager for a band. We traveled around all the entire country of Norway and played hundreds of concerts, backstage screaming fans, met all the celebrities. It all happened because I was visualizing and believing in something. But I think when I look back now that the ingredient here was that I was not craving it. I was like experimenting with an exciting future. And that created something that was so exciting, so insanely different from what I've had before, that I can't believe that it happened. When I became bigger as manager for the band, we started getting more listeners and all that. I started craving. I wanted to get more listeners, earn more money, and it came into that wanting, craving space instead of that feeling that I already had it, and gratitude for what I had. And when that happened, it started to disappear. The craving and wanting started to become bigger because that was what I was focusing on. That's just what I was seeing. When I was seeing listeners on Spotify, for example, I saw what I didn't have. That created more of what I didn't have. So now it's been 3 years since the peak of that. I quit a couple of years later because I was tired of all the partying and all the pressure, and also I didn't feel right within. But now I've gone through a different set of a journey, let's say. And I realized that manifestation, as I'm feeling like I'm able to manifest everything that I want right now, it's because it's not about the external. And that's what truly clicked for me now. And that's what every manifestation guru has been saying, but I didn't understand it truly. It is only about the feelings that you have within you and what you see in your mind. That's the only thing it's about. It's not about the external world. You can, of course, you think you manifest to get something in the external world, but that's not where it is. It is within you. That means that you can have it right now. So if you give yourself a sentence that says, how would I feel if I had X? Like, how would I feel if I was living my dream life? I was an adventurer, I was disciplined, and I felt great in my body. How would that feel like right now if I allowed myself to have that right now? And you just sit there and you give yourself that feeling in your body. And if you don't know how to create feelings in your body, that's where you got to start. Because when you can sit there, meditate, or lay in bed before you go to sleep, and you actually feel like you have what you want, when the wish is fulfilled, then you can dwell in that feeling, and you can lay there and sit there and smile because you know that you already actually have it, because that's the only thing that you are after. All the things in the external world, you only want them because they will give you a feeling of safety, a feeling of adventure, excitement, of feeling enough. That's all the things that you want. So you can give yourself that right now, and don't put conditions on it. Don't be like, okay, I need this in the external world to feel this, because then you're pushing it away. Actually, you're not giving it to yourself, because right now you are your feelings in your internal world, and you can create that within you, and don't care about what happens in the external, because when you sit in that feeling, you don't need that. Then you have it right here. As long as you have a roof over your head and you have food in your stomach, you are good. And then maybe when you can actually sit in that feeling and you feel enough, you feel confident right now without condition, things may start to change, but they don't have to change. It's like, if they change for something else, then good. If it doesn't change, then as long as you feel right now that you have it, then you have it. And it's a little bit abstract, but I think what clicked for me was that it's not about the external. It's never about the external world. It's always about your internal world, truly. And you can truly give it to yourself right now. And if you feel like you're wanting, then you can just say, why want when I can have? And just give it to yourself. Okay, that was my rant for today. I'm Francis Drake. Hope this helped you. See you in another video. Goodbye.